Oh, yes,
Yes,
preparing.
yes, yes.
Awesome. Got it.
Right.
Yeah. Awesome. Good morning. Welcome to our Saturday morning yoga practice today. Thank you so much for being here. It's always an honor to be part of your yoga journey. And we're going to go ahead and get started today towards the back of the mat, finding a child's pose. So sitting your hips back on your heels. And we'll gently rest our chest forward. If this is uncomfortable, feel free to stay in a seated position just for these first moments. Welcoming a deep inhale. Come to arrive on your mat. Allowing yourself to settle in, relaxing through the body. With every exhale, lowering, letting go of any tension. We'll be going through a series of different postures throughout the class. Just do your best to try, know that everybody looks different in all the poses. There's no exact perfect right way of necessarily doing anything. So just be graceful for yourself, with yourself. Be grateful for yourself for being here. Maybe allow a gentle smile to come on over your mouth, letting the forehead relax here, maybe letting the eyelids hang heavy. Feeling free as well to offer your own modifications, make this practice your own. I'm just here as a guide. Another deep inhale. Feel the lungs expand. Let the air feel like it's rising to your head. And a slow exhale, pushing all the air out. Feeling the belly button pulling back towards the spine. We'll take another inhale, reaching the hands forward, stretching through the fingers here. We're going to press up with the chest, kind of creep it between our arms as we pull the belly down, sticking kind of the hips out in the back, lifting the chin, really pressing into the hands here, feeling those shoulders pulling away from the ears. And we'll exhale, sink the hips back towards the heels, round through the spine. Inhale, press forward, shine the chest between the arms again, pulling the belly down, kind of making the letter C. Exhale, release the hips back to the heels, round to the spine. And one more time, inhale, we rise. Open the chest, draw the belly down. And we'll find a neutral position here, turning the fingertips back towards us, pressing into the bottom of the palm there. We'll just slightly shift the hips back. You can do some circles over the wrist too, if you'd like. Switching directions. And we'll come back through neutral. Just turn the palms over, back of the hand on the mat, and we'll face the fingers towards each other in the middle and just kind of sway here side to side. Returning the hands, And just making sure our knees are stacked right under the hips. You can kind of see your feet. If you can see your feet, you know that they're not in line right behind the knees. So just aligning the body. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, a nice neutral position with our spine and our pelvis and our hips. Try not to stick the hips up here. We'll inhale, reach the left arm up to the sky. And exhale, thread that left arm underneath, resting the shoulder down. You can even rest the side of the head down. The other hand can stay where it is, or you can walk it forward, or even try to reach it up to the sky, trying to open the chest a bit more. Exhale, right hand grounds. We're going to unthread the left arm, reach it up, and return back to neutral tabletop. Here, the right arm reaches up. And we'll exhale, thread it underneath the left armpit, gently resting the right shoulder down, maybe the side of the head. And the left arm here, whatever you like to do. We'll unthread, reach the right arm up, and take it back down into our tabletop position. Wonderful. We're just going to walk the hands forward. Again, just gently lower the chest down to the ground, keeping those hips stacked over the knees. And begin to walk the hands back, sit the hips onto the heels, round through the spine into a child's pose. We'll interlace the hands behind the back here. We'll inhale. We're just gonna rest the forehead down. We'll inhale, lift the hips gently, kind of rolling on to the top of the head, and maybe allowing this fist to come overhead. A rabbit's pose here. Exhale, releasing the hips down. You can just bring the arms back next to you. We're gonna round into the spine. Roll it all the way up to a seated, inhaling arms overhead. Exhale, right hand plants, left arm reaches over. We breathe into the side body, kind of just turn the chest up to the ceiling a bit more. Back through center, inhale. Exhale, left hand down, right arm overhead. Take a stretch. Gazing up, stacking shoulders. Inhale back through center. We'll go one more each way here. Try to go a little bit deeper into the side bend. Back through center. Exhale to the other side. Beautiful. Inhale. We'll just gently interlace the hands behind the head. We're just going to kind of pull the chin in towards the chest, kind of squeeze the elbows together. And then just open up here. Kind of squeezing the shoulder blades, pushing the elbows back together. We'll let the hands come behind the back one more time here, interlacing into a fist, maybe a slight bend in the elbows, just trying to press the palms all the way together. You can just inhale, draw that fist down as the chest opens, lengthening through the spine, feeling the shoulders pulling away from the ears. And one more rabbit pose here. Exhale, release the forehead down. We're going to gently lift the hips, rolling onto the top of the head, and the fist comes towards the front of the mat. Really getting into the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, release. Let the hands come forward in front of you. And from here, we're just going to tuck our back toes. Kind of just sinking our hips onto our heels. Feel a nice stretch through the feet. And we'll press it up into our down dog, starting to straighten through the legs here. We'll start with maybe a pedal of the feet. Or if you'd like, you can do both at the same time. We'll rise high onto the tippy toes. And then release the heels down. Try to press the heels as far down toward the ground as you can. Rising high onto the tippy toes, dropping the heels down. One more time, rise it up. Drop the heels as far as they can go. No worries if you want to stay pretty high on the heels off the ground, because then it'll really allow you to tilt the pelvis forward, really stick the butt out in the back, kind of let your belly come more towards the thighs as you press the chest back, allowing the shoulders to fall away from the ears. And we're just trying to straighten through the knees here, activate through the glutes, through the quads, help you find more space. Let's add some movement. We'll inhale, round forward. And we can start with a plank. Just kind of find a plank position before sending the hips up and back into our downward facing dog. Inhale, round forward, kind of waving the spine. Let's try to drop the hips here all the way down, but keep the chest opening. So squeeze the glutes here to really protect the low back as you find an opening back bend. We're going to pick the hips up, wave the spine back into a downward facing dog. So some spinal waves here. Let's go forward. We round forward, start to drop the hips all the way. The chest opens forward. Inhale. Exhale, lift the hips, wave it back. Inhale, round forward, drop the hips, open the chest. And exhale, lift the hips, push it back. We'll do one more here. We're going to come all the way down once again. This time, allow the thighs to drop onto the ground. You can release the toes in the back and even let the chest fall. We'll tent the hands. This is a great way to kind of work on your fingertip strength. We're going to tent the hands kind of right near the shoulders, right kind of off to the side, right on about underneath, really kind of pressing the elbows away a bit. We're going to lift the chest, squeeze the glutes here, straightening through the elbows, opening into a cobra. Deep inhale. If you want to stay into a low cobra, just kind of focus on the upper back, squeezing the shoulder blades. Just really try to let those shoulders fall away from the ears. And exhale, release it down. Beautiful. Just planting the hands regular. We're going to do one more cobra. Inhale, press and lift into cobra. Tuck the back toes. Exhale, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Just settle here for a nice deep breath, finding complete stillness. Big deep breath into the belly. Audible exhale, let it go. We'll inhale, come forward one more time into a plank. Just dropping the heels to the left, kind of let the hips open to the long side of the mat. And we'll take the right arm, reach it up to the sky, side plank. Feel free to stay here, or if you'd like, you can step the right foot behind this bottom left leg. We try to press the hips up, kind of swivel them open to the ceiling. Take a nice stretch here. And exhale, right hand down. We untwist, coming back into plank. Let's take a vinyasa. Exhale, releasing down into your cobra. Or you can go all the way down into a cobra, or if you'd like to just take a low push up, hover above the ground, chaturanga. Inhale, press forward and up with the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. So there's definitely variations in our vinyasas that I hope you can feel free to take throughout the practice. One more time, inhale, we round forward into plank. We're going to let the hips this time, or heels, hips fall to the right, starting with just a twist in our plank. And then the left arm will reach up to the sky. Feel free to stay here, just finding strength in the side body. Or if you'd like to open up into the upper body a bit more, we'll take the left leg, step it behind the right. We twist the hips open, reach the left hand towards the front. And we'll exhale, come back through center. Find a high plank. Here we go through our vinyasa, lower to the ground. Inhale, press the chest forward and up. Upward dog if you're able to keep the thighs lifted off the ground. Exhale, downward facing dog. Oh, yes, deep cleansing breath. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees. We're just going to walk. You can maybe step one or as many as you'd like to the front of the mat, bending slightly into the knees, releasing into a dangling forward fold. So not quite your full-on active forward fold quite yet. It's a more restorative, relaxing one. We're gonna grab opposite elbows over our head, let our biceps kind of cover the ears. Okay, so wherever you are, try to add some gentle movement up and down. So it doesn't have to be anything too crazy, just kind of bouncing wherever you are, trying to keep length in your spine. That's why we're trying to keep our elbows over our head. So trying to find nice and length through the spine and really kind of active through the glutes. We're just going to bounce. And we'll dangle, bend into the knees, release, relax. Maybe give a little sway side to side. You can bend very deep here into the knees. You can even rest the elbows on the knees if you'd like. It's all helping to open up the hamstrings in the back, decompress the spine. All right, let's release here. Planting the hands on blocks or on the ground. We'll step the feet a little bit apart, turn the heels out, and we're going to sink the hips down into our first squat here. All right, so wherever you are, just meeting me in a squat if you can. We'll stay nice and active, lifted, push the knees away. We'll add some movement here. Inhale, rise it up to standing. And exhale, lower it all the way back down into the squat. Inhale, rise it up. Exhale, release into the squats. One more time, we'll rise. And we'll turn the toes forward here. Wonderful. And just take a forward fold. Send the chest forward. Maybe a slight bend in the knees, but here we can maybe try to start actively engaging through the quads to really go deeper into our forward fold, straightening through the legs even. And if you're really wanting to press straight but don't have the flexibility quite yet, just stay lifted through the chest, stay long through the spine. We'll inhale halfway, lengthen hands to shins. Exhale, release into a forward fold. Inhale, rounding through the spine all the way up to standing. You can reach arms overhead before relaxing in our mountain pose. Finding grounding through the feet, spreading through the toes, maybe opening the palms forward, spreading wide through the fingers, just feeling free to take up some space here. We'll go through two sun salutations. We'll inhale, reach the arms overhead, gaze up at the thumb. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen, hands to shin, straight spine. Exhale, fold, plant the hands. We step back to our plank position. On the same exhale, we're lowering down to the ground. Inhale, pressing forward and up with the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. A deep cleansing breath. And on the next inhale, we'll lift through the heels, bend the knees, step or try to float the feet forward, releasing into a fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold. We'll rise all the way up to standing, inhaling. And exhale, release, arms by your side or even hands in prayer at your heart center. Round two. Inhale, reaching arms overhead, lengthen, gaze up. Exhale, hinge, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen, straight spine. We'll exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back, and lower into our chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Cleansing breath. And on your next inhale, lifting through the heels, bending into the knees, stepping or trying to float the feet forward into your forward fold. Inhale, we'll halfway lengthen, really straight knees, find length here. Exhale, one more forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, release. Wonderful. We're going to get moving through a sequence here. So, yeah, spreading the feet about hip distance. We'll inhale, rise the hands overhead. And we're exhaling, releasing into a forward fold. We'll start with the right hand down. So kind of slightly bending into the right knee, plant the right hand down right in front of your face sort of thing, like right in the middle. And the left hand reaches up to the sky. We turn the gaze up to the hand. The other left leg here is staying straight. It's like a twisted fold. We're going to take this right leg and try to step it back. So you can step it back a few times. And if that feels good, you could stay there or try to lift the right toes off the ground, finding a balance here, a revolved half moon. So we're twisting, balancing. Let's go ahead, release the right toes slowly down, bending nice and deep into the front left leg. We ground through the right toes. We inhale, reach the right arm up to the sky. The left arm reaches back towards the right thigh or even your right hip. If you want to take a little bit of a deeper twist in our high crescent lunge, really feeling a nice deep bend into the front leg. We'll inhale, lengthen. Exhale, revolve open into our warrior two. So the hips are opening towards the right long edge of the mat. And we're again sinking deep into this front left leg. Beautiful. Finding your power and breath. We're going to inhale, straighten through the front leg and bend into the back knee, sitting the hips as far as you can go down. Feel free to ground through the hands, use blocks. But the extended leg is going to be pointed up towards the ceiling, the knee, and the toes. And you're really wanting to sink this left hip down. Maybe push the right knee away. Skandasana. Inhale, we rise through center. Turning towards the long side of the mat, toes point out. Let's sink the hips down into a goddess pose. Tucking the pelvis, active through the glutes. Inhale. Exhale, release the hands down to the ground, taking a fold. And inhale, rise all the way to standing arms overhead. Exhale, bend into the knees, cactus the arms, find a goddess pose here. A horse squat sort of thing. Inhale. Exhale, fold, plant the hands. Inhale, rise, straightening through the knees, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, bend into the knees, find our goddess. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold, plant the hands. And we'll inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Beautiful, taking the arms out to a T, really reaching the fingertips opposite directions. We're going to turn the back foot to point towards the long edge, so parallel with the short edge. And then we'll turn the front toes completely forward. Extended triangle, really extending here. And we'll think about activating through this front quad, through this back glute. We activate, extend, reach forward as far as you can before folding over the side body. Really staying long through the side body. Inhale. Exhale, we release the chest down over this front leg. The back toes can pivot towards the corner of the mat. And we'll straighten through both legs here. And really think this right hip is drawing forward. The left hip is drawing backwards, squaring the hips, closing them off. We're going to release the chest into our pyramid fold. A great one to use blocks if you're tight to help find length through the spine. We'll inhale, rise it up, bending into the front knee again, as deep as you can. We're coming into our warrior one. So this back foot is staying kind of pointed out 45 degrees to the corner. And the hips are staying square forward. But this front knee is now bending as deeply as you can. It helps to widen the stance, might. We'll interlace the hands behind the back. Draw the fist down the back as the chest opens. And we're going to exhale, try to relax the chest forward, kind of pushing this fist overhead. You can even bring this left shoulder inside the left knee to go deeper. Humble warrior. Inhale, rise. We got one more pose here. Try your best. Keeping maybe the hands interlaced if that feels okay for you. You can also use blocks, ground through the hands, or use your hands for balance. We're lifting off the back right foot, finding a warrior three parallel to the ground, kind of straight through both knees. Woohoo! Wonderful. We'll release right foot to meet the other, find a standing. Ooh, shake it out, maybe. We're going to do one more balance on this leg. The left leg is center of the mat. Our weight is grounded there. We'll take our tree pose. Right foot is going to maybe just kickstand at the heel, or it'll come inside of the calf, or come all the way to the inner thigh. Squeezing everything together, rising tall through the crown of the head. Whatever expression here you'd like to take with your arms, you can do a dynamic movement with your trees. You can find stillness. And really find that stillness. Think of a tree in its stillness, staying in the same spot. And exhale, release. Beautiful. We'll take it to the other side. Finding about feet hip distance apart. We'll inhale, rise the arms overhead. Inhale, gazing up. Exhale, forward fold. All right, this time the left hand plants, left knee bends, right arm reaches up to the sky. Take a twist. And here we'll go for a revolved half moon. So we're going to step the left foot back and try to see if we can lift this left foot off the ground, keeping your twisted shape. Trying to gaze up towards the thumb. You got it. We're slowly going to bend into the front knee, drop the back foot behind, reach the left arm up to the ceiling, right hand kind of reaches back towards the left thigh or left hip. Twisted high crescent lunge here. Maybe looking up towards the hand at top. Inhale. Exhale, revolve open, warrior two. Arms to a T, gaze over front fingers. Wrong glutes. Inhale, we'll straighten through the front leg, bending into the back knee, sinking the hips as low as you can go. Skandasana, low side lunge. And we'll inhale, press it up. Turning the toes out, we bend into the knees, find goddess. We'll take cactus arms here. Again, squeeze the shoulder blades. We'll go for 3 more rounds of our sunflower. I'll turn to face you. Inhale, rat. Oh, yeah, we'll start. We'll exhale, bend into our goddess. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold, ground through the hands. Inhale, straightening through the knees, rising all the way up to standing. Exhale, bend into the knees, cactus the arms, goddess. Inhale. Exhale, release into the fold. We'll inhale, straighten and rise. Exhale, goddess. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise into standing. We'll go for our extended triangle. Turning the front toes forward, the back toes towards the long edge. So we're like a T with our feet and a T with our arms. Inhale, reach it forward. And exhale over the side body. Inhale. And we'll exhale, release, turning, pivoting the chest and hips forward into a pyramid. Really nice and straight through both legs. Using your blocks to really help you find length through the spine as you try to fold belly towards the thigh. Relaxing here for a moment. Before inhale, we're rising up, bending nice and deep into the front knee. Warrior one. We'll interlace the hands behind the back. Inhale, draw the fist down, open the chest. Exhale, fold forward. Shoulder maybe can come inside of the right knee as you push the fist overhead towards the front of the mat. Inhale, rise. Hands are going to stay at your low back. We're lifting off here, lifting off into our warrior three. So trying to find a T-shaped balance to the ground. You got it. If you come out, just try to come right back in. It's all part of the practice. We'll exhale, release. Left leg to right, foot into standing. Maybe shake it out a bit. We're going to find our tree pose on this side now. Shifting our weight into the right foot. We kickstand with the left, maybe bring it to the shin, the calf, or all the way up to the inner thigh. All right. Find your balance, squeeze, rise tall with the crown of the head. Maybe expression of your branches in any way. Always kind of helps to find a point of focus to just stare at. We'll exhale, slowly release. Wonderful, amazing work. We're gonna take it down to the ground from here. So we'll take a flow to the ground. We'll just inhale, rise arms overhead, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. And exhale, plant the hands. We'll step it back and lower down to the ground as you wish. Inhale, upward dog. And we'll exhale. We'll actually bend the knees here and shift the hips back into a child's pose. So just meeting me in a child's pose once more. Rising here into a seat. Right, you can just bring your feet through, finding grounding with the sit bones. We're going to actually open here to the long edge of the mat. So just opening the feet wide and straightening through the legs, maybe flexing through the feet, pointing them up. We're just going to start with walking the hands a bit forward, maybe even trying to ground through the forearms. Just taking a moment, a breath. Let the body relax and settle. We're just kind of cooling down from here. So you don't have to push yourself very hard. Reaching forward, inhale, one more lengthening, pulling forward with the crown of the head. One more relaxing exhale, just trying to let the chest melt closer to the ground. Inhale, rising back up. We'll, yes, we'll just take it this way, bending one knee in. Or you can keep it extended, whichever is more comfortable. You can take one knee in. We're going to take a side bend overhead, reaching fingers to toes. And inhale, rise it back up. And take it to the other side, side bend over. If it's just a little uncomfortable with your legs wide, like I said, feel free to bend the other knee. We'll inhale, rise it up. Planting through the feet here, letting our knees drop side to side as window wipers. We'll finish off with some nice twists. If you just want to find an easy seated pose, we'll ground through the right foot, bending the knee in towards the chest. You can even cross it over the other knee if you'd like. And we're twisting to the right. So maybe hugging the right knee in or hooking the left elbow outside the knee. Twisting, bringing your gaze over the right shoulder. Trying to feel both sit bones still grounded here. Deep inhale into the belly, twist a little bit deeper. And we'll exhale, untwist. Release to the other side. Other foot tucks under. We'll ground through the left foot, maybe cross it. Right. So maybe just inhale, starting with a lengthening of the spine and crown of the head. We hook the elbow, hug the knee, and gaze over the left shoulder in the back. And we'll exhale, slowly unravel Beautiful. Just finding a nice, easy seated pose. If you'd like to do anything further, take a Shavasana and final resting. I definitely recommend and encourage. I'm just going to close off the practice here. Starting with a nice deep inhale, reaching arms overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center, a gentle bow to yourself in gratitude. I also bow to you. Thank you so much for being a bright, beautiful light and for practicing with me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, your weekend, and peace be with you. Thank you.